And longtime rap music mogul James Prince decided to celebrate in a major way.
If I lost everything that I possess, own, or have material-wise, this guy killed all of those people. I brought the investigating report.
November 1st, 2022, a rising hip-hop icon is found lifeless in a Houston parking lot. His name was Takeoff from Migos. The scene unfolded outside a bowling alley, surrounded by members tied to one of the most feared families in rap history. Within hours, the internet erupted with one haunting question. How did this happen while he was supposedly under the protection of the Prince family? But hold up, here's where it gets even crazier. This wasn't the first time someone ended up dead after crossing paths with J. Prince and his sons in Houston. And it definitely wasn't the first time rappers walked away with lighter pockets after dealing with the so-called gatekeepers of Houston hip-hop. For more than 4 decades, J. Prince has built a massive empire, stretching from Rap-A-Lot Records to boxing management, from ranch land to the most shadowy corners of the music industry. But beneath the tailored suits and motivational speeches sits something far darker. We're talking about a family accused of turning checking in into a multi-million-dollar pressure system. A family linked, at least by circumstance, to multiple deaths. A family the DEA never managed to bring down. Today, we're peeling back the layers on hip-hop's most dangerous dynasty. We'll break down how J. Prince and his sons allegedly pulled millions from artists, how their name keeps surfacing around deadly situations, and why even the biggest rappers stay quiet. Stay locked in, because what you're about to hear will permanently change how you view Houston's rap scene. This is the untold story of hip-hop's most feared family. Let's get into it. But before we dive into the accusations, the bodies, and the alleged extortion, you need to understand who J. Prince really is and how this power structure was built. James Prince was born in 1965 in Houston's 5th Ward, an area so violent it earned the nickname the Bloody Nickel. We're talking about one of the most impoverished and dangerous neighborhoods in Texas history. By the 1970s, the 5th Ward led Houston in shootings, stabbings, and homicides. The average yearly income there was just $8,500, compared to a national average of $67,000. That's more than 150% below the poverty line, fam. Now, J. Prince says his story began clean, cutting lawns at 7, working as a bank teller, and opening Smith Auto Sales in 1986. On paper, it sounds like a classic American success story, a young black man grinding his way out of the trenches through hustle and discipline. But listen to this, the story doesn't stay clean for long. J. Prince has admitted in interviews and in his book, The Art and Science of Respect, that he was deeply involved in the streets during that same period. We're talking about dealing and street activity he's hinted at but never fully denied. He even claims the moment that pushed him toward legitimacy was discovering his own mother had become addicted to crack, possibly connected to his own supply. That's heavy. In 1987, J. Prince officially launched Rap-A-Lot Records. It started as a way to keep his younger brother, Sir Rap-A-Lot, out of trouble, building a studio right above his car lot. But let's be real, this wasn't just about family protection. J. Prince spotted an opportunity the industry ignored. In the late 80s, Southern hip-hop barely existed on the mainstream radar. New York dominated with Run DMC and LL Cool J. The West Coast was rising with NWA, but the South? Completely overlooked. J. Prince changed that narrative. He formed the Ghetto Boys, featuring his brother, Bushwick Bill, Willie D, and a young rapper he discovered in a parking lot, Scarface. And this is where his ruthless business instincts showed early. When Scarface proved more talented than his own brother, J. Prince removed family from the equation and replaced him. Loyalty stopped where money started. Albums like Grip It, On That Other Level, and We Can't Be Stopped exploded. Violent, controversial, and impossible to ignore, they forced the industry to recognize Houston. J. Prince had officially put the city on the map. But success brought heat. Law enforcement came knocking, and this is where things take a sharp turn. In 1998, the DEA opened a federal investigation into J. Prince and Rap-A-Lot Records. This wasn't local police, this was the same agency that took down global cartels.
Authorities believed Rap-A-Lot Records was a front for laundering drug money, similar to how BMF would later operate, and they claimed they had evidence. In 1992, an El Camino from Smith Auto Sales was stopped near El Paso. Inside, police found a hidden compartment holding 76 kilograms of cocaine, over 160 pounds. Street value? Millions. 2 men were arrested, and the investigation escalated fast. Between 1988 and 1999, J. Prince was arrested 5 times on drug-related charges. 5 times. And here's the wild part. He was never convicted, not once. In one stop, officers claimed to find a pill in his car, but the story kept changing. First ecstasy, then Quaaludes, then Valium. Official reports contradicted public statements, even claiming the pill was found in the police car, not his. Massive protests erupted outside HPD headquarters. Busloads of supporters showed up, claiming he was being targeted and framed. The charges were dropped, but the message was clear. J. Prince had resources, influence, and community backing. The DEA kept pushing anyway. 2 DEA agents, Chad Scott and Jack Schumacher, spent over a decade trying to bring him down. They surveilled, harassed, and stopped anyone connected to Rap-A-Lot. Then, suddenly, in 2000, the entire investigation was shut down. Attorney General Janet Reno pulled the plug. Why? Rumors started flying, political donations, pressure from above, and even a letter from Congresswoman Maxine Waters alleging racial profiling. Nearly 2 decades later, one of those DEA agents was convicted for corruption, perjury, and falsifying records, the same man who hunted J. Prince for years. So here's the question, was J. Prince guilty or was he untouchable? Either way, one thing is undeniable. He beat the federal government. And if he could do that, what chance did rappers have? That brings us to checking in. Depending on who you ask, it's either respect or extortion. When artists come to Houston, they're expected to contact the Prince family, meet them, move correctly. J. Prince says it's about relationships and safety, but when you track what happens to those who don't comply, the pattern looks different. Problems appear, then solutions offered by the same people. NBA Youngboy's Houston robbery raised serious questions. Burglars knew the layout, the keys, the valuables. Then J. Prince Jr. appeared online claiming he recovered everything. Youngboy wasn't convinced. He told him to stay out of it. That's the pattern critics point to. Create pressure, then present yourself as the fixer. Artists end up indebted, obligated, and controlled. Shows, security, shout-outs, appearances, all funneling influence and money back to the Prince empire. Even industry insiders like Chris Gotti described meetings that felt more like intimidation than networking. Weapons on the wall, power on display, and it worked. Business followed, publishing deals followed, fear followed. For 40 years, this system operated quietly, and then came the deaths. Again, no accusations, just patterns. People meet the princes, then tragedy follows. That's why so many artists stay silent, because when power, money, fear, and history collide, speaking out feels dangerous. And that's the part of the story that still hasn't been fully told. Duke the Jeweler wasn't just any hustler with ice. He was a respected Chicago jeweler trusted by some of the biggest names in hip-hop. In 2020, he flew to Houston for a Lil Boosie concert and pool party, expecting nothing but business and vibes. While in town, he pulled up to a dice game hosted by J. Prince Jr., a move that instantly put him in elite company. Photos and videos from that night show Duke right beside J. Prince Jr., relaxed, confident, and moving like someone who felt completely safe. But listen to this, Duke was alone, no security, no entourage, just him, trusting that being connected to Rap-A-Lot meant protection came with him. The very next night, after leaving Boosie's event, Duke the Jeweler was robbed of his jewelry and shot dead.
November 1st, 2022, a rising hip-hop icon is found lifeless in a Houston parking lot. His name was Takeoff from Migos. The scene unfolded outside a bowling alley, surrounded by members tied to one of the most feared families in rap history. Within hours, the internet erupted with one haunting question. How did this happen while he was supposedly under the protection of the Prince family? But hold up, here's where it gets even crazier. This wasn't the first time someone ended up dead after crossing paths with Jay Prince and his sons in Houston. And it definitely wasn't the first time rappers walked away with lighter pockets after dealing with the so-called gatekeepers of Houston hip-hop. For more than 4 decades, Jay Prince has built a massive empire, stretching from Rap-A-Lot Records to boxing management, from ranch land to the most shadowy corners of the music industry. But beneath the tailored suits and motivational speeches sits something far darker. We're talking about a family accused of turning checking in into a multi-million-dollar pressure system. A family linked, at least by circumstance, to multiple deaths. A family the DEA never managed to bring down. Today we're peeling back the layers on hip-hop's most dangerous dynasty. We'll break down how Jay Prince and his sons allegedly pulled millions from artists, how their name keeps surfacing around deadly situations, and why even the biggest rappers stay quiet. Stay locked in, because what you're about to hear will permanently change how you view Houston's rap scene. This is the untold story of hip-hop's most feared family. They pushed a narrative that Burks was hired by Jay Prince to silence witnesses. Hold up, because this is where everything collapses. In 2019, after Chad Scott was convicted on corruption charges, 2 witnesses suddenly recanted their testimony. One admitted Scott pressured him to lie. Another man, Clayton Brown, confessed that he and someone else were the real shooters. He swore Lamar Burks was never there. Brown said he finally came clean because the corrupt agent was gone and he wasn't afraid anymore. Despite this bombshell, Burks remains behind bars. And Jack Schumacher? He's still working as chief detective. Let that sink in. Now we arrive at the most profiled death of all, Takeoff from the Migos. November 1st, 2022, Houston, Texas. What was supposed to be a celebration turned fatal. Takeoff and Quavo were in town for Jazz Prince Day, honoring Jay Prince's son. They were guests, friends, protected, or so they thought. That night ended at a bowling alley with Jay Prince Jr., Mike Prince, and Rap-A-Lot affiliates. According to the Prince family, everything was peaceful at first. Then the dice game started, and that's when stories split. The Princes claim Willie Bland from Quavo's camp started the altercation. They say he struck someone with a gun, triggering chaos. Gunfire erupted. Takeoff was hit, and he died on the floor. But here's the part that shook the internet. Video surfaced showing Jay Prince Jr. walking past Takeoff's body. No urgency, no visible panic, just movement. The family later said he was washing blood off his hands and that Mike Prince stayed to help. They claimed they protected Quavo afterward and even took him to the hospital. But the public wasn't convinced. Because here's the real question. If checking in equals safety, how did Takeoff die under their watch? And then came the most explosive detail of all. Willie Bland told police that Jazz Prince gave him the gun used that night. Read that again. The weapon involved allegedly came from inside their circle. Jay Prince tried to flip it, saying it proved they weren't involved. But that wasn't the point. The point was that someone they hosted, armed with their gun, sparked the chain of events that killed Takeoff. And instead of accountability, Jay Prince turned his anger towards Offset. He warned him publicly, a grieving family member. That wasn't advice, that was a threat. Duke the Jeweler, Earl Parry, Takeoff. 3 deaths, 1 city, 1 recurring name. Maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's street life, but maybe the protection being sold isn't protection at all, just leverage. Because when you strip everything down, this isn't about respect, it's about money. Fear is profitable, and intimidation is a business model. If you want the truth the industry won't say out loud, you already know where you are. This is Rap Uncovered, and the streets are always watching.
Brand, movement of bosses together in elevated structure. According to Jay Prince, the brand is now synonymous with Houston hip-hop. Artists rock mob-ties gear. Promoters run events under the name. It's a cultural phenomenon. J. Prince monetized it smartly. Mob-ties clothing, events, affiliations. Weight equals money in hip-hop. But it's also fear-based. If you're with mob ties, you're safe. Against it, you're in danger. That's not legit business, gang. That's a protection racket with marketing finesse. Here's how the system works. First, dominate your territory. J. Prince did that by being Houston's first successful hip-hop entrepreneur. He put the city on the map, giving him cultural clout. Allegedly used street tactics to crush competition and assert control. DEA investigations, arrests, and rumors of violence all built the image. Don't mess with J. Prince. Next, funnel money and influence. His system? Checking in. Artists must check in when visiting Houston. That gives him access to every major performer. That access is monetizable. Security services tied to the Prince family, performing at their venues, appearances and shout-outs promoting mob ties, creating business deals benefiting the family. No explicit extortion, framed as respect and relationship building. But threat lurks underneath. Don't play ball, trouble might follow. The system works because people believe in consequences. Reputation for violence is key. Whether responsible or not, perception matters. Each death or robbery after a failed check-in reinforces the myth. Duke the jeweler? Fine until spotted with Baby J. Takeoff? Died under Prince protection. NBA YoungBoy's house got hit, and Prince returned the goods. Each incident says you need Prince protection or bad things happen. Genius? J. Prince never says, pay or I'll hurt you. He's vague, talks about defending himself or bad news beating you home. Everything reactive, never proactive. When things go wrong, he can claim it wasn't him. It was someone else trying to help. Plausible deniability. And with community goodwill, charity, local support, black business success, people give benefit of the doubt. Once established locally, expand. Sons run daily operations, extending reach. Branch into boxing with the same tactics, build ties with other city artists like Drake, extend influence beyond Houston. Franchise the mob ties brand. Brilliant business model, if you ignore the alleged intimidation. Who really pays? Not just artists checking in, not just those who die. The impact is wider. Young Houston artists face impossible choices. Build buzz locally, risk Prince interaction. Refuse check-in, risk being shut out, or worse, lose-lose. If they check in, they sacrifice earnings and independence before even breaking through. Money that could improve their music, marketing, opportunities now goes to tribute someone who didn't create their art. Out-of-town artists told to check in for safety. But Takeoff proved checking in doesn't guarantee that. It only guarantees the Prince family gets their cut. Artists pay for unnecessary security, make unwanted appearances, give respect undeservedly, all out of fear. That's not how music should work, gang. Artists should perform anywhere without tribute to local bosses. Families lost. Takeoff's son, brother, cousin, Duke the jeweler's father, husband, provider, Earl Perry's loved one, Lamar Burke's 20+ years in prison for a possible wrongful murder conviction. These families, the real victims, loved ones gone, justice often missing. Circumstances, murky. Investigations, questionable. People with answers, silent. Takeoff's mom faces her son's death under protection while watching J. Prince and Sons on podcasts defending themselves, threatening Offset, acting like victims. That's wrong, not justice, fam. Hip-hop suffers when this continues. Checking in has spread beyond Houston, LA, Atlanta, Chicago, every major city. Young artists think it's normal, part of the game. They believe tribute to local OGs is mandatory or risk harm. But hip-hop wasn't built on that. It's about creativity, competition, taking the mic, proving skill, not extortion or intimidation. Allowing people like J. Prince to run unchecked says fear greater than talent.
says it's okay to profit off others' creativity if you're scary. That's not the culture I want, and I doubt most fans do either. Question: if J. Prince been at this 40 years, why no charges? Answer: complicated, but mainly because victims and witnesses won't cooperate. People fear him. Even when crimes happen, few testify. Don't give statements, don't be seen as snitches. Without witnesses, cases collapse. J. Prince is careful, no threats recorded in court. Speaks in generalities, implications. Don't put me in a position to defend myself. Warning, not threat. Warnings aren't illegal. Distance always exists between him and the act. He didn't break into NBA YoungBoy's house. He didn't shoot Takeoff. He didn't rob Duke. Prosecutors must prove orders or conspiracy, near impossible without cooperation. DEA investigations showed lead agents Chad Scott and Jack Schumacher were corrupt, falsified records, coerced witnesses, ran extortion. Dirty investigators? How can evidence or cases be trusted? Corruption taints all. Gave J. Prince a defense. Targeted by corrupt cops? Possibly true. Doesn't equal innocence. Evidence compromised. J. Prince built ties with powerful figures over years. Rumored $200K donation to Al Gore, letter from Maxine Waters, Attorney General shutting down DEA case. Connections, protection. Friends in high places make enforcement tough. Charity and local support paint him as a community pillar, complicating attacks. Taking down J. Prince likely requires RICO, organized crime laws. But RICO is complex, expensive, need a pattern, witnesses, documentation. Recent hip-hop RICO cases, Young Thug, Big U, took years. Houston law enforcement, limited resources, political will low, especially with J. Prince's connections and image. Big U comparison? Eugene Henley Jr., RICO case for alleged LA extortion. Feds say he used OG status and industry ties to extort. Sound familiar? Checking in system mirrors Houston. Artists must connect with specific people or face consequences. Big U allegedly linked to Nipsey Hussle's death. No murder charges yet. Feds examine pattern, intimidation, extortion. Some speculate J. Prince mentored Big U, who implemented the system in LA. If true, and Big U faces RICO for doing exactly what J. Prince has been doing for 40 years, then is J. Prince next? To be fair, let's step into J. Prince's shoes and imagine his defense. J. Prince would argue he's built multiple legit businesses over decades: Rap-A-Lot Records, The Ranch, boxing management, real estate. He'd point to tax returns, business licenses, contracts. He'd say his success comes from being smart, working hard, and spotting opportunities others missed. J. Prince would highlight the DEA investigation and the fact that the agents probing him were later convicted of corruption. He'd argue he was unfairly targeted because he's a successful black man in a white-dominated industry. And honestly, there's some truth there. The DEA investigation seems tainted by Scott and Schumacher. J. Prince would claim the checking-in system is just about relationships and respect. He'd say artists connect with him in Houston because they want to, not because they have to. He'd point to his friendships with Drake, Quavo, and other big names, insisting these are genuine connections, not fear-driven business deals. Regarding deaths and violence, J. Prince would argue he can't control everyone claiming affiliation with mob ties or Rap-A-Lot. He'd note he's never been convicted of a violent crime, and there's no direct evidence linking him to any incidents. J. Prince would showcase his charity work, support for local artists, and contributions to Houston culture. He'd argue he's given more than he's taken, helped more than he's hurt. And again, there's truth there. He's positively impacted Houston. But the question remains, does the good outweigh the bad? Can it really be called charity if it's funded by allegedly illegal activity? So, what's next? What happens to J. Prince and his empire? Sadly, the most likely outcome is nothing changes. J. Prince keeps operating as he has for 40 years. Artists continue to check in. The system stays intact. Without victim cooperation, major investigations, or political will, J. Prince remains untouchable. He'll keep doing interviews, building his brand, and making money. The cycle goes on. If the feds go after him with a RICO case, like Big U, everything could shift fast. RICO lets prosecutors examine his whole operation, connect dots local enforcement couldn't, and compel testimony from scared witnesses. But RICO cases take years, massive resources, and political will at the top levels of the Justice Department. With J. Prince's connections and public image, it's unclear if the feds would risk it. Maybe the hopeful scenario is a culture shift, artists refusing to check in, the industry pushing back. We've seen sparks after Takeoff's death. People ask questions, people speak out. If enough artists unite and say, "We're done," the system loses